Rumpelstiltskin was an evil little man.
Oh, wasn't that the one where you had to guess the guy's name, or you have to give him your first child?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. He said, guess my name, and I called him a son of a bitch.
Here I come, little Johnny. Uncle Rumpel's on his way.
Welcome to Midnight Cinema. I am Art Hennessey in San Diego.
And I am Rumpelstiltskin. Care to join me, sweet meat?
Wait, no, I am Erik, and I'm here in Salem, Massachusetts, home of the mythological characters from all your childhood favorites.
That's right. And we're going to be discussing this week Rumpelstiltskin, 1995 movie. And it is about a mythological creature because those were all the rage back then, right? This movie is directed by Mark Jones. It stars Kim Johnston Ulrich, Tommy Blaze, Alice Beasley, and Max Grodenchik as Rumpelstiltskin.
And first of all, I do want to apologize because, I thought, oh, yeah, Rumpelstiltskin, I heard good things about it. And what I think what we told ourselves, Art, is we're going to try not to watch movies that have a rating of less than like 6 or 6.5. And this one was a little lower than that. And, I apologize, but I suffered just as much as you, I would imagine.
Okay, so let's get into this. Had you seen Rumpelstiltskin before?
Surprisingly, Art, no, I did not. I saw the cover at the video store and I thought, oh, that's too scary for me. That's a creepy looking dude peeking through that doorway. Wow, that looks scary.
Yeah, so the two questions that came to mind when I was watching Rumpelstiltskin, also for the first time. So my first time through watching it, these were the two questions I had in this order.
Why? Why the first one? Why?
No, the first one was this released in theaters? That was my first question. Second question, actually more of an observation, Erik, about a third into this movie, I thought to myself, if you had cut off the first, say, 10 minutes of this movie and I started watching it, I would easily have believed that I was watching Rumpelstiltskin 4 or Rumpelstiltskin 5 while I was watching it. Do you kind of know what I'm saying?
Rumpelstiltskin the Returned. Rumpelstiltskin's Revenge.
I started to say, this can't be the first entry in the Rumpelstiltskin franchise. And I found out it was the first and last entry in the Rumpelstiltskin franchise, right?
Yeah, but before I just, I want to let people know that are listening that I don't want to say that it's a horrible movie because it's got a lot of good stuff in it. It's just the execution. I'm like, what? Again, is this a horror? This is a horror comedy. And it shouldn't be. There would have been so much.
This goes to my observation, Erik. The traditional, I think, journey for these franchises would be it would start as sort of a legitimate horror movie. You mentioned when we talked about Fright Night, some movies that are legitimate, they're trying to be a horror movie, but they have a little funny things in them. And then in the sequels, they start to lean into the jokes. And I will say, even Freddy Krueger went this direction. Freddy Krueger, they just started leaning into Freddy Krueger is your MC and he's making witty comments and kind of winking at the camera. Now, he was already doing that a little bit in the first movie, but they just started leaning in.
Well, yeah, I agree with you there. But also I want to point out that the first Freddy Krueger movie, they weren't really jokes because he was like, I'm your boyfriend now. But that could be taken seriously. He could really just want to be her boyfriend. But then he starts saying things later on like, Greg, my little meatball. And it's Greg's a little meatball. And he's eating, I just thought, when he started getting funny, I'm like, is he doing stand-up nights in the dream world? Is he like, oh, great, another stand-up. Stand-up night. I hope I get 5 minutes. Hey, how about those teenagers? I just thought Freddy Krueger could have been really, really scary. and he just started getting funny and funny.
Okay.
And while we're on that subject, we're talking about creatures. The same guy did Leprechaun.
Yes, this is made by the same person who wrote and directed Leprechaun. And he also did Leprechaun 2, sort of. But he was thinking, I have an idea for another franchise like this. Because Leprechaun was such a success.
Such a success, Art. Such
But
a success.
It spawned how many sequels, Eric? Leprechaun.
It doesn't matter as long as they had Leprechaun in space.
Yes.
They reached the top.
Well,
Leprechaun in space.
That's right. Well, the series cannot be in the pantheon, right? Unless they go to the city and then they go to space. You can't call it a complete, right? Somewhere they have to go to the hood, right? And then they have to go to space. And that means you are in a certain level. It's almost like the EGOTs or something.
Yes.
You're in a certain level of franchise if you've done
Freddy
that.
Krueger's probably so pissed off because he never reached that height of fame because he never went to space.
Yeah, Jason went to Manhattan.
He did, yeah.
And he went to space.
He went to space. Freddy Krueger, he never reached the big city, sadly, and he never went to space. And he's probably... Think of all the one-liners that Freddy Krueger could have had in space.
Amazing. I can't even imagine. I'm sure
it was the moon now. He throws him over.
I'm sure it was pitched. I'm sure it was pitched as a possible idea, right?
But we have this one. We have Rumpelstiltskin, who it does not take place in space, unfortunately.
No. Rumpelstiltskin. So Mark Jones decides, I have another idea for a mythological creature horror movie franchise. And he creates Rumpelstiltskin. And this movie had a $3 million budget. Like this was not like a 1.2 million or something like that. Dino De Laurentiis, the producer, in an interview I read with Mark Jones, he gave him the money. And also, from what Mark Jones, the director, says, gave him pretty much creative freedom to do whatever he wanted. He expected there to be a lot of messing around and the producers going, oh, you can't do that. But this is the movie that Mark Jones made and put together. And you were mentioning there are things to talk about here. He has somebody doing the score, had done the Nightmare on Elm Street score, Charles Bernstein. And then also Douglas Milsom, the cinematographer, did Full Metal Jacket with Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah,
so,
and you think they were all getting together like, oh yeah, Rumpelstiltskin, this is gonna be good. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Everybody jump in on this Rumpelstiltskin. But I have to say, Art, that we're going to go through it, but it does have the budget does show because it does have great practical special effects and it has great makeup. I mean,
I see the $3 million on the screen. It's not a lot of money. Like we're not talking a huge budget, but I can see what you're talking about. They're using the $3 million for locations, for stunts, for things like that. And you kind of see it on there, which leads me to my next thing before we dive in. This film has just recently been upscaled into like a nice Blu-ray to put it in its original aspect ratio. Because right now, when you watch it on Amazon or wherever it is, the reason I was wondering if it was released in theaters is it's in a presentation that's very cropped. You notice that right away. It's cropped from the sides as if it was for old TVs, right?
Yeah, it's
so I thought it's a square, basically. Yeah. And when I looked at the trailer for the Blu-ray, it is a widescreen presentation. It looks a lot better, I will say, and we'll talk about it as we go on, because when I looked it up and I was like, wait a minute, this is like a legit cinematographer on here. And there were moments where I liked some of the shots that they came up with. And when I look at them on the trailer for the new Blu-ray, the trailer for the new Blu-ray, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I love this. Please keep this, Art. Please keep this so
I will
everybody
keep.
knows that
I will keep this in. Okay.
Oh yes, thank you.
But in the trailer for the new Blu-ray,
yes, Art, go ahead.
you see the full picture, and it actually looks so much better than what you're going to see on any of these streaming services where it is right now.
Yeah, I had to watch it on my television. I had the shades down, but I was like, oh, it looks a little dated. But I bet if you had on Blu-ray and you projected it, for example, or I think it is well shot. It is well shot.
But let's get into it.
Yes,
So
let's get into it, Art.
So
I'm working on my Rumpelstiltskin voice. Let's
go
get
around.
into it,
So
you son of a bitch.
So we start the movie and we're back in 1400 and
somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe. There's a little bit of production design here with the costumes. A little bit. The makeup isn't so much. It looks like people are in period dish costumes, but they're not really made up. I think they did some stuff to make their teeth look like they're from olden times. But this Rumpelstiltskin is being chased to the edge of a precipice that falls off into the ocean, and he's being chased because he likes to steal babies, right?
Yeah, well, here's where I want to make sure we know that technically Rumpelstiltskin is just a businessman, and he made a deal, and he said, I will weave this straw into gold for you, but you got to give me the baby. And they're like, yeah. And then they don't give him the baby. So he's like, you know what?
I'll take it then.
And so he's not necessarily, he's kind of an asshole, but he made a deal, business deal.
Well, it's tricky because in some versions of Rumpelstiltskin, he doesn't put out that is the deal until after he's done it. And which seems a little shady, right? So in some of them, he gives her the out of saying, if you can guess my name, then the deal's off and I don't get the baby. And the woman is trying to guess the name, and he keeps coming every night. And
Art, you realize what you just said. It sounds like we watch a different movie now.
I know.
So
I was waiting.
I'm going to call you on every single accidental innuendo that you make. And I did my own work too, Art, and the original story made by the terrorizers of children.
Grimm, the Brothers Grimm.
The Brothers Grimm. The story is that the king is the bad guy. The king's like, I like this young girl. I'm going to imprison her until she supposedly can make gold out of straw or something. And so she's like, oh no. And this little guy appears and goes, I'll help you. But he says, it's going to cost you. And she says, oh, here's this necklace, I think. And then she says, here's this ring. And then she says, well, I don't have anything else. He goes, if you have the baby, I'll take the baby. So, and she says yes, because she's a bad mother, Art. Mm-hmm. And that's the original story. And Rumpelstiltskin does say, hey, if you can guess my name, but no one will ever guess it. And one of the names that she tries to say is Spindleshanks. Is one of the things she's like, Spindleshanks, spider legs,
yes.
Rumpelstiltskin. But I'm just saying the bad guy in the original thing is most likely the king, but they pour it all out on that poor little guy that's just trying to do a business.
Yeah, he shows up, he's helping you out. He does. And spinning straw into gold, straw comes into the picture in this movie.
Yeah. So with that legend aside, I think what they're showing you is that a different part of that legend, but he's being chased because he has the baby and they want the baby back. Right.
And they set him on fire, which that was the other thing I noticed right away, Eric. There's a real guy on fire. They set a stuntman on fire.
That's what I put in my notes, was like, oh my gosh. And it looks good. It looks like the guy's on fire.
It's not computer animated. There's a woman who's some type of witch or wizard or something.
I was like, what did she just say? It's almost like she made the spell up on the spot. She's like, round and round the magic goes. Whoopie-doo and la la la. And then he turns into this actually very good looking prop.
Yeah, so he turns into this jade egg type thing. It looks like something out of Alien, and he's all hunched up. Or this is a deep cut for you and other people. It reminded me of, Do you remember the movie Prophecy, the poster for the movie Prophecy when we were
Yes.
kids in the 70s? That
Yes.
little thing in the egg. It
Yeah.
looked like that. It reminded me of Prophecy.
And fun fact, not in the frickin' film. That's the reason why I went to see that movie, was because of that thing in the egg. And I loved the movie when I first saw it, but now I watch it, I'm like, oh. But it's a guilty pleasure. But yeah, so he turns into a jade prune egg thing. Yeah.
And they toss him off into the water. It's actually a really nice shot. It floats down, and then we get that score that comes in. This is the first time we get the score. Nightmare on Elm Street, X-File-ish score, but it also has this weird like a growl underneath it, like a Gregorian chant type of strange guttural growl, and that's part of the score that comes up throughout the movie, and we haven't even got to the soundtrack of the movie yet.
Right, and it's
which
really,
is.
Did you think right now when you're watching, so he's out of the picture, and we're going to jump to modern times? Yeah, did you think, oh, this is going to be a straight up like horror drama?
Yes.
Right? There's nothing.
Nothing to let me know. He has a few, his line deliveries, Rumpelstiltskin, even in that opening scene, have a little bit of a modern edge to them for the time. So that's kind of keying me off that he's going to be that type of a character. But no, at this point, I think, we're going to now, this jade egg is going to be the way he gets into modern time. And we hard cut to some rap music playing on the radio, and we're in Colors from like the 1990s, the movie Colors. It's two cops riding the beat in LA, and one of them singing along to the rap.
All those cuts of the city reminds you like a Beverly Hills Cop type of thing, with like cut to this and cut to that. Just in case you didn't know, we're not in the 1400s anymore. Here's the strip club.
Right, yeah. And the cops are riding along, and we're introduced to the cop, and he is with his partner. They're trying to come up with baby names. So we already know Rumpelstiltskin likes babies and deals with babies, and right away they're letting you know this guy has a baby on the way.
Got it.
So then, Eric, we get into a violent crime.
It's like carjacking, right? There's a guy trying to take the woman out of the car, and our cop hero wants to stop him, right?
Well, the woman has a baby in the car. So once again, we're getting all this imagery of children in danger. That's what it's setting up here. And the carjacker pulls a gun and he shoots the cop, who I thought was going to be okay. Rumpelstiltskin's going to be terrorizing this guy's family.
Right. Me too. I thought the same thing. And the slow motion. Oh my God. The slow motion. He's probably the worst cop in the world, because he's like, freeze. And he gets shot, three times? And they're very good. The effects are great.
The blood's popping out of him, and he's going down. And the carjacker takes off, Eric, and he gets off a last round, and it's a headshot.
Oh my God. And it's really good. It's a really good, I mean, it looks like his head.
I was like, the imagery now, after our last 20 years, I mean, even though the cop is getting shot, the idea of the cop blowing the back of a black man's head off as he's running away. I have to say, Eric, I was like, this is.
I wasn't going to go there, Art, but I'm like, of course they chose a black man. They could have picked anyone, but they're like, no, well, let's make it this guy this guy's good. This guy's good. And then, I mean, now, even though he was doing, it's just like,
it was bad. He hit that mother with the gun. Like, he really struck her on the side of the head. Like I said, it is kind of a violent scene for this type of movie. I was like, okay, what are we in for as a ride here?
Serious.
What's going to happen?
It's very serious too, because I'm like, oh geez, this is serious. I'm not sure I think every single thing had to be in slow motion.
No. But and so they go to the hospital. So his wife is at the hospital. Doctors come out. Husband's husband's gone.
He
And,
dead. He's dead. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
At
Mhm.
first, but I thought it was funny too because the doctor was like, "Yeah, we're working on it now," and so you don't know. And then next thing he's like, "No, he's dead. No, sorry, no,
Right.
we're wrong. He's dead. He's dead."
And she has a friend, Erik, at the hospital helping her out that we'll see. And Alice Beasley is her friend. And Alice Beasley, some people may know, I immediately recognize her from Moonlighting. She was the secretary, remember, on Moonlighting at the office?
Great. Hildy. Hildy's the name of it. And she's like the awkward. This is where it turned into kind of like, I'm surprised it was the 90s because I thought this got to be the 80s, but it suddenly turned to like a 90s sitcom type of situation. And I really liked Hildy because she was super believable, but really fun and funny. I really like that character. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And the mom's okay. She's not giving me any, could have been anybody, but Hildy, like, oh, this is cool. That's a fun role.
Hildy was a good presence to bring into it. And so we're cutting now to the nice shot of the cemetery with her solitary sunset. And then we're jumping a little bit ahead in the story. And Alice Beasley, Hildy, is coming to see her because she's still obviously upset about her husband getting killed as a police officer.
The baby's probably a few months old. It's like the typical age for a typical movie baby where it's like, it's super cute and you're not quite sure how old it is. So, and I do want to point out Hildy's outfit. I love it where they have to throw it in your face. Like, this is the quirky sidekick. So we're going to make sure they're wearing like a vest with a t-shirt or a funky hat. And,
yes.
It's like, ow. But that was, I guess, the 90s. I probably had a shirt like one of the characters in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, wait, did I have that shirt?
She looked like she could jump into Godspell, right? Like that's the style, right? She could just jump right into the to the chorus of Godspell.
Best part of the movie. No,
so
not true, but really good.
So Shelley is our hero now, the mother. Shelley, played by Kim Johnston Ulrich.
Right. Oh yeah, Kim.
Yeah. Who I will say the first time watching this, I was like, may we all, Erik, have a director who likes filming us as much as this guy likes filming Kim Johnston Ulrich. I have to say, she looks dynamite in a lot of shots in this movie. Her eyes, the way they're lighting her.
I agree. She looked great, but I'm like, okay, let's go. What's happening now?
Well, Erik, what's happening is we have to have a lot of exposition about this guy on the TV. This God. Shock jock / who would have been in the equivalent back then? Almost Jerry Springer crossed with was it Morton Downey Jr. and Geraldo? There was a lot of stuff like that. Maury Povich, yeah. But he's a little crasser. He's those people mixed with maybe what Howard Stern was doing at the time. He's got a whole set of bikini clad women that he's interviewing, and it is just, it's crass. He says to one of them, "You look like you just stepped out of a Stroke magazine." And then he says, "Let's see if those are real. Ladies, jump up and hold one and let one flap and let's do a little Chuck Berry." And I'm like, why? And also I was like, why are we spending so much time watching this TV show? Because I have no idea what's happening later in the movie. I've gone in cold. So
and it's on in the background of this woman with a baby. And my first thought was, why is she watching this? Did she forget to turn the channel from As the World Turns or whatever else she might be watching?
Well, Erik, Hildy likes him. Hildy says she likes the guy. She's like, I kind of like him. But
he's got charisma and a nice shirt. I don't know.
We have to remember, this was still a time, Erik, where there was not streaming services or cable on demand. So daytime television was this. You either had this on or you didn't have anything on.
Yeah.
And that was what was happening at the time.
Sit the baby in front of the TV.
To watch.
The baby starts going, boobies, boobies.
So we should say, yeah, the actor Tommy Blaze is playing this guy, and that's going to be important.
And that's the actor's name, right? Tommy Blaze?
Tommy Blaze, who, interestingly enough now, Eric, I looked him up. He writes a lot of, you might see the advertisements for them on like YouTube and stuff. A lot of these Christian sort of movies like God Is Not Dead and those types of movies. He's like the writer of those movies. He's not just
he probably felt bad after this one. He's probably like, you know what?
Yeah,
this is make up for that.
I was looking it up, and that so we should say his character's name is Max Bergman, and it's Tommy Blaze is his name. I'm like, why did they just go with Tommy Blaze?
You think his fake name is his real name? You're like Tommy Blaze.
So Hildy comes over. She's like, you got to get out of here, get some fresh air, get the sunshine. They go out, and Hildy takes her to an occult / Goodwill shop. Like
it looks like a haunted house. First of all, let's go out into the sunshine and go into the darkest, dankest, antique cult something.
Well, they went down. They literally went down an alley. Like I thought they were going to pass Demi Moore going to get the substance, right? For those of you who've seen that movie, like I thought we were going to see like Demi Moore coming back,
or like Gremlins. They're going down the. Right. Going into the shop. And it was very like that. I mean, what struck me about this shop was whoever owns the shop is not selling a goddamn thing because of all the cobwebs over everything.
And stuff is just thrown on the shelf. It's not displayed. It's just all sort of knickknack. And what I loved, Eric, is they're going by and they're filming it. I do have to say, it was a nice little set design. It wasn't bad, the lighting and the way it was filmed. But they're going by, and all of a sudden, a ventriloquist dummy goes, it falls a little bit, and they put a music sting in. I said, was that supposed to be a jump scare or something? But then also, clearly, it just moved. There was no animation to it. It wasn't magically possessed.
No,
it just fell a little bit.
Remember, when they're showing the dummy, I thought, oh, is this from another movie? I'm like, why are they focusing on the dummy? It has nothing to do with the movie.
No, but we soon see the owner of the occult shop, and she is a cat. She's going for it. She smokes cigars, and that's how she's introduced. She comes up behind them, and we just see a cigar smoke cloud comes out, and overwhelms them to make them turn around. And she's, what are you here for? You know, that type of.
You sound like somebody's grandfather. What are you here for? Your kid's here for candy?
Yeah, she's just a total character, and it's offbeat, I will say, from what you might think you're going to find in that shop.
Well, it's the 90s too. I think there's that overplay of like, okay, yeah, really sell it. Not true, but really good.
So Shelley kneels down to calm her baby, right? And there is the jade egg with Rumpelstiltskin in it sitting on a lower shelf. And it's actually a kind of a good shot. She goes down below and kneels down, and you see her face even with the object that he's encased in. We know that, she doesn't. And the woman says, you don't want that.
That's not for sale. I'm like, okay, so it's not for sale, but you have it accessible in a lower shelf. Not for sale. And does she know the lore or not? Because if she did, why wouldn't she be like, oh, that's not for sale. That's going to suck your baby into the abyss. You might not want to get that. Maybe the doll, maybe the little mannequin there, the ventriloquist doll. How about that?
Yeah, why is it not? Exactly. Why is it not for sale? Be specific.
Yeah, and it's about. I want to just the prop again. The prop, they put a lot of work into that prop because it's actually not actually, but actually freakish. It is a scary looking prop. I don't know why the mom is attracted to it. Maybe because she's in depression or something.
Yeah.
But it's got gold flecks in it. Like, it's like, ooh, look at all the gold. This is really cool. Like, what?
Well, if you noticed, that detail was interesting to me because when at the beginning, the witch put him in case in this. Her spell sent out this glittery stuff around him that I think that was sort of animated. But then when he shrunk down into the egg, right, there was glitter on the ground and in the egg. It's almost like the magic she sent out was still in, but that was practical. And so I noticed that it had the gold flecks in it that were also on the ground around the egg. So that detail I kind of liked. But then,
and not to go backwards, Art, but it's you again. I'm blaming you for this. Is like, why didn't they turn to her afterwards when Rumpelstiltskin was gone and go, "Wait a minute, holy crap, are you a witch? You're get her, get her, get her." You know, I was like, "This is the 1400s, Joe. They're looking for you. They're looking for you." I mean,
right?
I mean, it would be a whole different movie.
Like, everybody else is like, "Did you see that stuff that came out of her hands?"
Yeah,
and she just she literally turned this guy into a jade egg right in front of us. Like,
but
we were gonna burn him, but like, what's going on? Let's put the fire over here. Yeah.
So I just had to point that out. It's like, something in me thought that the person who owns the shop was maybe that person, but they made no connection to that. But they take the freaking egg. That she sells it to them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
because we slam cut to the egg sitting next to the photo of the dead husband on the mantelpiece.
It looks just like him. It looks just like him.
The photo of her husband is him in his cop uniform, and it looks as if it was taken right before he was killed. I said, clearly they took the shot on the one out of the 2 days that actor shot on the film. They said, let's get the shot of him. They didn't take time to make some sort of other shot with like the family with him with her or something. Yeah. They just took it when he was in his police uniform on that street where he got shot.
I mean, if she had a shot of her and him and he wasn't in his police uniform, maybe we wouldn't know who it is. Like, who's that guy?
Right.
We're too stupid.
She's at home and she's sad and she out loud says to the baby, what? She says, I wish
that my husband would come back and mess around with me.
That's that's a fringe benefit that comes.
I want my husband back. And then she cries a little tear.
Yeah. She cries a little tear because she's, I wish you could meet your father. I wish your father could meet you.
That's what it was. I wish. Yes. Right.
Yes.
I wish you could meet you.
And the little tear, as you said, lands on Rumpelstiltskin in that thing. And she goes to bed. And I actually like this shot. Mm-hmm. The jade egg.
Yep.
What you pointed out, right?
It's a great effect because
it turns to look at the dad. It turns inside the thing.
It doesn't look stupid. You're like, ooh, cool.
Yeah. So she goes to bed, and at night she starts hearing a noise, and I'm thinking Rumpelstiltskin's now coming in to wreak havoc in the movie. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
So she pulls out a gun. Probably, her dead husband's gun, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. And points it at the door. Door opens, but who is it, Eric?
It's not Santa. It's her sexy husband back from the dead.
In his cop uniform.
Right.
As if he's coming home from the day.
He's coming home.
But I liked this, Eric. You may disagree. Because I did like him coming to the door and he says to her, this isn't a dream. And he's dead serious. He's like, this is not a dream you're having.
Right. And she's like, oh, of course.
Right. Well, I'm not sure she believes it, but I thought that was a good moment because I believed him. I said, okay, she's not dreaming. Really come back. And I didn't know, is he going to be in the rest of the movie? How's he going to explain that when he goes back to work? That he was shot and dead and buried. This is where my brain is going. But then I'm like, oh no, they got to have sexy time. They got to,
Did you just say that they're going to have sexy time?
They did.
But
how else do we say it? How else do we say it? What are we going to say?
A night of passion, a sex, they're gonna boink. No, I think your sexy time is cute. It was really cute, and they do, right?
Yes, yeah, they have some.
But it's respectable because there's no.
Yes.
You only see you see parts. You don't see
Until the next morning when she's in
what
bed.
happens next morning, all right?
Well, next morning she hears the
I
shower
wasn't
going.
paying
So
attention.
she wakes up. Obviously, she's thinking as us, okay, that was the one night. He's probably gone. We hear the shower turn on. She hears the shower turn on. She's like, who's in the shower? She gets up, butt naked.
Yes. I want to point out two things. One
Yes.
is that the actor refused to be naked and then was
Yes.
upset because her butt looks better than the photo double's butt. And secondly, her wish is, I wish that you could see your little child again. And they both, as soon as he appears, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's not like
They're
he
like-
spends the entire time playing with the
No.
child
No.
or holding
He's like,
the child.
oh, that's the kid. That's the kid. That's great. Let's do it. You know, and I was like, wow, they really.
And he doesn't wake up. She doesn't wake up in the morning and hear him out in the kitchen, like trying to feed the kid, and
No.
maybe go like choo choo train with the kid or
No,
something. Right?
first things first, you got to have a shower
Yeah.
before you meet
Yeah.
your new child, I guess.
But she goes into the bathroom. Shower's all steamed up, so we can't see who's in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this did get me, Eric. This did get me because I was in the mode of, oh, this guy's alive. Shower door opens. It's not the sexy husband.
No, and it's we've seen the character before, but it's Rumpelstiltskin. And the makeup on this thing it really looks like this is the creature's face. And what's his name? The actor Bob Odenkirk?
No, it's very similar.
Bob Odenkirk.
Max Grudenchik, I think, is what
Oh, well, but he nailed that character, and it was the makeup was great. It's sharp teeth, and he's got stitches in his nose, and it's like an old wound that's open, and he's got the sunken eyes and really scary, and he's got naturally he's got like a wide mouth. So Rumpelstiltskin with his little what do you call it?
It's almost like a
1400
jester hat in a way. It has two
Yeah.
bells that hang down
Yeah.
here on
and
the sides.
chains. He's
Yeah.
wearing chains. He's got a hump.
Yeah.
He's almost like an Igor type of character, but it's freaking scary. But then, I already said it, but he says, remember, he's from the 1400s.
Yes.
He says, care to join me, sweet meat?
Yes. I am on the same page as you. I was like, oh, it's Rumpelstiltskin in the shower. And then he says that. And this is where I started to have my feelings like, am I watching Rumpelstiltskin 4 or 5?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then we have a fight scene with Rumpelstiltskin. He's chasing her around. He wants the baby, and she does a lot. She kicks him in the nuts.
She
really
does kick him
hard.
in the nuts. Yeah.
Kick him in the nuts.
Yep.
She cuts off his finger.
Yep. Great effect.
Stabs him in the head. Stabs him right down through the head. And none of this seems to affect him. However, she goes into the broom closet and takes a broom and starts hitting him with the broom. But he does seem to suddenly be affected by the broom. For some reason, the broom.
Oh, well, good call, Art. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Now
we don't know. We don't know at this point why
Yeah.
that is. But
But it's a broom. It's a regular like straw broom at the end.
Correct.
And and then she how does it break? Because she hits him with it.
It breaks off, and she shoves it in his mouth.
Yes.
Like shoves it way down, so it's like he can't even talk. So
Yeah, and what is the effects in this movie are great because when he gets stabbed in the head, there's no blood there, but when he pulls it out, I think it closes up. So I don't know if they did it in reverse or not, but it looks so good. And when the broomstick is in his mouth, it really looks good. And I want to remind everyone that there's a freaking baby right there.
and the baby isn't crying. We should say the baby is
No
just sort of
trauma there.
observing all of this.
Yeah, because
And
the problem is that she made a wish, and now she didn't know, but if he grants a wish, then he can take the baby. That's the Rumpelstiltskin that we have now is make a wish, I can take your baby. So that's why he's like, I'm taking that baby.
Yeah. And she takes off, goes down, starts up her car, and then Rumpelstiltskin at this point has got the broom out of his mouth, and he looks out the window, and then he almost like kind of looks to us, and then he just sort of leans and jumps to the side through the window, like crashes, clearly a stuntman, or maybe Max Grodenchik did it himself, I'm not sure, right through the window and lands on the car. And I was like, this movie is out of control already. And
is that the point where he jumps on the car and she takes off? Was that early when his arm comes off?
Yes, his arm comes off.
Again, they're like,
he gives her the finger. He gives her
the finger.
The dislocated arm gives the finger because you have to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but still, again, the effect not needed. Why are they trying to be funny? I don't know, but it's like with Leprechaun where I don't know whether they're catering to kids who aren't supposed to see this anyway, but when he picks up the severed arm, maggots are falling out of it.
Yes.
Or they're probably whatever it looks like. And I thought, wow, they're really paying attention to, there's no need for the maggots, but they did it. And it looked great. I'm like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
But then he cracks some joke like, hey, you'll be seeing another piece of me. Like he's in front of a microphone, like he's doing stand-up. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Rumpelstiltskin. Don't say my name 3 times or I'm out of here. I mean, it's just... Well,
the next thing we cut to the police are there the next day, dusting for fingerprints. And she's saying this weird guy came in and wanted my kid. And Hildy's there and says, look, you're going to come stay with me. So that doesn't...
Yeah,
and then
which is cool. I thought they were setting up a whole new, like, oh, they're going to the cabin in the woods. And this is where the bulk of the movie will take place, is her and Hildy fighting off Rumpelstiltskin.
But Hildy's also going to invite over her psychiatrist friend. Hildy says, I have a friend who's a psychiatrist. They'll come over. And it'll just be the 3 girls and this one little guy. And then the police detective goes, lucky kid.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
Lucky kid. See, now I'm going to watch it again.
And so they go over and the psychiatrist is there. She is not only a psychiatrist, she knows about folklore. She pulls out the Big Brothers Grimm edition. And this is where she informs Shelley, I think what you're dealing with here is a Rumpelstiltskin.
By the way, hidden the book if they're thinking, oh, this could be the guy. And, if you say his name, he disappears. But they already know his name. They're like, oh, this is a Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
So apparently you have to say his name 3 times.
The chant. They said you got to do the chant.
You got to do a chant. Sure.
That part of it is a little weird because I can't tell throughout the rest of the movie whether she seems to know the chant or the name. They get that all kind of mixed up, but it's not going to matter soon.
No, it doesn't matter.
The psychiatrist leaves, and then we hear the score coming in again. It's the Michael Myers point of view approaching the house, and you hear the jingle of his 2 little things that hang down off his hat. That's how we know it's him. Because it's like the shaky cam and you hear the chink-a-chink, chink-a-chink, chink-a-chink. And then he's suddenly upstairs. So I was going to ask you, did you notice he can almost like appear suddenly places?
We don't know what his particular powers are, apparently. So what you're saying is he appears and disappears, but yet he has to take, the bus to go to work. He's like, I got to take the bus. I mean, it doesn't work in this particular one, but it's just unusual. They're not sure what kind of powers Rumpelstiltskin has.
And then he's suddenly in the wardrobe. Hildy goes to get some bed sheets or something, and he's doing the ET right in the wardrobe. His head's kind of tilted to the side, but
that was creepy art.
It's creepy.
That was a creepy moment because this is the movie I want to see. Is this creepy he's being creepy. He's not being like, hey, what's going on in the world?
And this is where Hildy drops, like you said, no matter what, you're going up to my cabin. And I'm thinking, okay, I see where this movie's going. This movie is, they're going to have a little thing here. She's going up to the cabin. We're going to have this cabin and her facing off against Rumpelstiltskin. And we know Rumpelstiltskin's a house. And this is what I like, Eric, is I'm like, okay, are we going to play around? What is he doing? And Rumpelstiltskin
You can do it.
Comes through the wall, like through the wall with a bookcase on it, and crashes through and takes like the wall and the bookcase down. Like, give me that baby! Like, I'm like, it wasn't a cat and mouse thing. It wasn't any sort of suspense buildup. He just comes through the wall and he's in the house and he's threatening. And Hildy is like, run. Take off, Shelley, and then Hildy's out of the movie because Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes. And not even a fight scene, Art. He just quickly breaks her neck, and then you don't even see her hit the ground. I'm like, they just threw my favorite character's out of the picture, and so easily.
Yes,
like, her role was good up until this point. She's like, wait, what happens? I die right here. They're like, yeah, you're just gonna. Yeah, we can't have you in the rest of the movie.
And it's so quick and then he comes out of the house and I felt bad because he comes out of the house and he's like, well, killed that bitch. Now to get the kid. That's what he says coming down the stairs when he comes out of the house after doing that.
His dialogue, they must have been like, all right, listen, guy, what's his name? Max, yeah. They're like, look, just say a few things and we'll decide which ones we want to keep.
I agree with you.
Okay. How about this one?
Yeah, I couldn't confirm that, but
it wasn't. I don't know if he says this here, but it's one of my favorite worst lines that he says. He's like, he goes,
"You're a mother. You can make another one. Just give me the goddamn kid."
Yeah, his attitude is sort of like, "What's the problem? You can just crank out another kid. Give me this one. You owe it to me." So at this point is where the movie for me, I had no idea that this is where we were heading. We're going to have a chase scene for almost the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
and I don't mean
crazy. It's like the almost like the Terminator type of sequence where you're.
That was exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking the Terminator, because for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, it's a car chase. We're not talking about a chase through the woods or a chase through the house or something. We're talking about a chase in vehicles, multiple vehicles. Yeah, she goes out and she so she's going to take off, right? And
yeah, she takes off and he chases her. And I forget how you might remember, but I think he chases her in the street and she takes off. And then basically Chris Christopherson pulls up on a motorcycle.
It's not, yes.
It looks like a
Chris Christopherson / Sam Elliott type of dude. Yeah.
On a motorcycle.
With sunglasses, pulls up. And this is where we start to see Rumpelstiltskin sort of having more than just a one line. He's sort of really, he's like, oh, this steed, this knight has a strange armor and the steed that he's on. And he just takes the motorcycle guy and throws him.
Well, he's super strong, and he has this great way. Also, one of the things I want to point out is they were getting someone like maybe Warwick Davis to play this role, like a smaller person. But this guy was hunched down, and he's walking like with his knees bent, and I thought that really worked. But he throws the guy, and you hear this. It's like shwink, like some kind of cartoon. Like they just decided, you know what? Let's make it funny, because he talks like he's in the 1400s, which I was going to say, but then he doesn't.
He's like, oh, this mighty steed. Yeah, man, dig it.
He didn't say that, but it's just, he puts on the sunglasses and he's cool rider.
Yeah, and then the soundtrack that I was referencing earlier starts to kick in. We're going to have a lot of different tracks over the next, say, 20 minutes. And we cut to he's on the motorcycle with the sunglasses on. And I said, okay, I guess I'm just going to go with this. This is what the movie's doing here. And he's riding through the streets. They love this because they're showing us it with the soundtrack going, this music. And we're seeing him, like you said, with that big smile with those teeth. And I'm like, are they trying to parody the Terminator, on a motorcycle?
He did have the sunglasses. Yeah. And was it
the
a
sunglasses?
chopper? Was it a
chopper? Yeah, it was a chopper.
Because he's got his arms spread out and he's like,
yeah. So she doesn't really see it, I think, and sideswipes a fire hydrant.
She takes the fire hydrant out.
Yes.
There is a baby in the car, and she is booking it, and inexplicably, there's no traffic, she inexplicably knocks the fire hydrant out, and water's everywhere. And I thought, why?
It's spraying out. Because here's why. It's a good shot. This is where you see that they have a good cinematographer on this film. It looks great because the motorcycle comes up and he dumps the bike. It's a stuntman. Clearly, there's a stuntman. Dumps the bike. The bike comes sliding towards the camera, and the stunt double for Rumpelstiltskin is rolling with the bike towards us in the camera while this water is spraying out over the street. And I said, wow, this is a good shot. This is really good.
I agree. It's a great shot, but I thought, there's gonna be something with water. He can't pass water. But the only reason they did that was so that they could switch vehicles. This guy, Rumpelstiltskin, could have avoided that fire hydrant. He had the whole street to himself.
Easily. He seems to be able to drive anything, by the way. He's like, remember in Rambo, the first Rambo, they're like, he can drive any vehicle. He can drive this. He can drive a helicopter. He can drive. And I said, so he can
it's like the Matrix. He's like, I need to know how to ride a motorcycle.
Yes. Because now pulls up a massive oil truck. It's truck.
Entirely black. It's just all of it is just this beautiful black truck.
Yeah. And the driver gets out and head gets ripped off. It just rips the guy's head off. And we have to have the detail of Rumpelstiltskin goes over and takes the cigar. I thought, Erik, the guy had a trucker's hat on. And I thought Rumpelstiltskin, at this point, I'm getting on the wavelength of the movie. I said, he's going to take the hat too.
You're almost disappointed that he didn't put on the hat backwards and be like, yeah, let's get trucking, But the head, I'm always, when they do severed heads, seldom does it, especially for 1995, it doesn't look that great. But this head with the cigar sticking out of its mouth, they did it, it looked great. And then he goes like this, he goes, just what I needed, another bad habit. And that joke alone is like, well, what other bad habits did we see? None. What was the other bad habit? That you steal babies? That's more of that's
a him thing. He wouldn't be him without the stealing babies. So we're cutting now to the next morning. So she's pretty much driven through the night. She's now out in the desert. She's out in the California desert. By the way, you probably recognized it. They realized while they were filming it, somebody realized they're filming them on the same roads that Steven Spielberg filmed Duel, the movie Duel. And I recognized that watching the movie. And it's very ironic because they have a massive tanker truck just like in Duel. But right now, she's pulled over the side of the road. Her car's not working. And a pickup truck comes by and
with a boat.
Who is it? Who is it? It's got a boat.
Trailing a boat, it's a rich looking, vehicle with a boat. So it's like, somebody.
And in the back, it's got a little dune buggy too in the back, which isn't. I now live in California. It is actually isn't that strange. People do use dune buggies out here. They go out to the desert and ride on these dune buggies.
Yeah, but who is it? Who is it?
It is Max Bergman who we saw on the television show. He's just going out for a weekend of camping by himself. That's what Max Bergman does.
Yep. And he's immediately the shirt and the hair and the way he talks. I'm like, why doesn't he have a microphone in front of him? Because this guy has got to be, when he's not doing the TV show, he's doing stand-up comedy somewhere really badly. And that's what this guy was for the entire movie, is these he just, I did not like him when he started speaking, and he keeps speaking through the whole thing.
Well, right away, if you think about like screenplay structure, usually midpoint of the movie is where you want to introduce something that's going to sort of make it a new movie, right? And he comes into this movie exactly at the halfway point of this movie. I kind of paused it to see, and I said to myself, is this going to be a romance now? Are these two going to be, is this going to be like a frenemies? And then they turn into like, he's going to be the dad of this kid. But like you said, he's so off-putting and so, gross and just weird. I said, how is this going to work? Because I'm thinking that's what this movie is going to do. But very quickly, Rumpelstiltskin is back in the picture in his big rig, chasing them down.
Yes. And Rumpelstiltskin, another thing, which again, they're like, say whatever you want. We'll see if it works. Like with a bad habit, where this is the only one we've seen. He goes, when he's driving in the truck, he's like,
My kind of chariot, made in America.
I'm like, what? Why would that be your kind of chariot? You're from Europe in the 1400s.
Made in America.
I'm like, and they kept it. They're like, good, let's keep that one about the made in America. That's pretty funny.
Great. Yeah.
But also pointing out, when she gets in the car with the guy, finally, we do have a baby. Let's all remember there's a baby in a carrier. Yeah, I have 2 kids. And I'm like, this woman is not looking out for this kid. This kid's in the carrier, and it's not even strapped in. Who knows? And she's also not wearing any pants for some reason. She has to put on a pair of pants so he can make jokes about it. Oh, hey, I liked you better without pants. Ha ha ha. Am I right, people?
Well,
am I right? Ha ha ha.
Yeah. And they start on this chase, and you're watching it. I mean, these are long shots. I'm like, this isn't like James Bond level stunt work in photography. However, for a $3 million movie, they have stunt drivers, and they are weaving. The big truck is weaving. The boat detaches. They go through and the big truck drives through it, and it blows up on the road. Once again, this isn't special effects. They blew this. However they did this, they blew this boat up.
Yes, it was a great effect. It was a practical explosion. Those boats are dangerous. There's so much gasoline in the bow.
Yeah.
Boat.
I didn't see that coming. So the boat blows up. They're chasing him. He thinks, I'll go off-road, and this big truck won't be able to follow me. And Rumpelstiltskin's a pretty good driver. He's a pretty good driver of an 18-wheeler.
That's what the guy says. He goes, this guy's a good driver. Am I right, people? Yeah. Am I right, everyone? All right, tip your waitresses. All right.
So our next stage of this is Max Bergman, hero-like, is like, I'm going to lead him away. So he gets his little dune buggy. Very little. Like, I actually did not realize how little the dune buggy
It's like
was going to be.
Yeah, like you find it at a kid's park. It's this little...
Right. It's almost like a remote-controlled car, and he gets in it and starts heading down the road. He pretends he has the baby. That's the key thing. He has towels wrapped up.
Yes.
And
it's a little plot problem, little bit of a problem.
What's that?
Well, Art, Rumpelstiltskin knows where the baby is because he can smell the baby.
Yeah.
But apparently, he's decided not to bother with his smelling abilities and just followed this guy because he figures the baby's there. I thought, all right, maybe he's upset and he's not using his smelling skills.
Yeah. And so he tries to outrun Rumpelstiltskin. He's by himself. He leaves Shelley with the baby, whose name is just disconcertingly, the baby's name is John Stewart. which they said a few times in the movie.
Oh, good thing you survived. You grew up to be quite a bit
I know.
important,
I thought that
influential person.
it was distracting me sometimes when they would say that.
Little
Long
John.
before Jon Stewart became Jon Stewart. So
Yeah, baby
But-
John.
But he takes off Max, and there's a chase. He's weaving all over the road, this little car being followed by a huge truck. And I did like that at one point Max calls out, he goes, "This was a stupid idea." Like, this was when he realizes he's trying to outrun this gigantic truck in this little dune buggy. And he said that. I said, okay, good. I'm okay with that joke because it's a really dumb idea. And the truck goes off the edge, just like in Duel. Truck goes off the edge, heads down.
Yeah, great visual, awesome.
And it goes through a big stone wall at the bottom of the thing, which I read an interview with the director and some of the actors. Did you read about this?
Yes, I think I did, but I'm going to let you say it.
Yeah. So the director said that camera crew was initially set up behind that brick wall, shooting over it. And he was looking at it, and there was something about it that told him to be like, I don't think this is a good idea. He said, I couldn't quite, there was just a voice telling, and he said, so let's move everything and we'll shoot from over here. And when they did it, the truck just went right through that wall. And I guess they all said people would have died. They're very clear about that. They said people would have died if they had stayed in the location that they were. So
there's not much information there's not much trivia on this, but that trivia I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah,
it was a great scene. I mean, thank goodness it hit the wall because it was a great looking scene. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah. It hits the wall, crashes spectacularly. And there's fire. Like they love fire in this movie, which really hurts Rumpelstiltskin in the first scene. Fire really hurts him.
Fire and I wrote it down.
Well, she reads, we didn't cover this before, but she read in the book that fire and chaff, which none of us know what that is. If you just say chaff,
it's
you know chaff.
No, you come out of the pool and you get your bathing suit on and you're still wet. And you're like, you don't take it off because
it's a little cold.
Yeah, you go to get French fries and a hot dog, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm chaff. I got chaff. I think that's what it is. Chaff. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name's the guy in the movie. Thank you.
Yes, you're Rumpelstiltskin.
Hey,
yeah.
No, chaff.
So they go there, and a police officer is there.
Well, wait,
highway patrolman.
Make sure we know.
Did I miss something?
No, you said explosion, but the truck smashes into a tree, and before it explodes, Rumpelstiltskin's got to get, his one-liner, and he goes, which I think I wrote this. He has this one-liner. He goes, "Oh, fucketh me, me," and then get it because it's 1400s, but he uses the F word, and then he explodes. But it was an amazing explosion. I
will say there is something about. We were talking about how he delivers these lines. His line delivery on the fucketh me is a little offbeat. Like it isn't how you would think you should say that. And that's what made it, I think, so funny. And big explosion. And so then there's a highway patrolman coming to help them out. And they open up the truck because, you can just open up a truck that's just been on fire.
It's cool now. It's cool. It's just been a couple minutes.
It's all cooled down. And they look in there and he emerges and he's all burned, but he's peeling off the burned bits off his face.
Yes, great effect because it looks like he's burned.
Yeah.
And I'm looking hard, Art, because I'm always effects. So I'm trying to find the flaw because I'm such a jerk. But when he peels off that stuff and he's got his other makeup on, it was amazing. A really good job.
Yeah, and so they run. They're going to run, right? The police officer. So Rumpelstiltskin goes over, and the police officer, this is how he attacks the police officer. He takes his own head, Rumpelstiltskin, for those of you listening can imagine, and pulls his head up. Rumpelstiltskin, like Erik is mentioning, practical effects, his neck is stretching, and it looks like he sort of pulls his own head off and then bites uses his own head with his hands to bite the police officer on the neck. And once again, I was like, okay, credit to you. I haven't seen that in a movie, so I don't know what to say. But there's more to that scene too, right, Eric? Because after he does this, what do we see?
What happens after that? I
His-
don't.
So after that, his head is on the ground.
Oh, yes, right. His head's on the ground and he's calling his body over to pick it up.
And his body's behind him,
Yes.
sort of stumbling around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what movie? And then at this point in the movie, we're also lots of soundtrack clips into this. So we had the hip hop on the motorcycle. There was like a country music type of song when he was driving the truck. Now I said, wait a minute. This movie got the rights to Iran. Iran was on the soundtrack. I ran so far away. I was like, wait, this doesn't seem like this movie should be able to.
Right. And that's the joke. God, so funny. Come here, you dummy, or whatever it was. Yeah. I'm like, they really.
Yeah.
He's not scared. He's so terrifying to look at. And then after 5 minutes in the film, you're like, eh.
And so they're hiding out in a diner, and then the police find them.
Yay, right?
That's what you think, but I like this twist of the movie. The police are like, you guys are cop killers, as far as we're concerned. There's a headless cop back by where you guys were, and so we're arresting you. We're taking away the kid. We're arresting you. We're bringing you to jail. They put them in the same cell.
Yeah, they put in the same cell, and the baby, they don't call, social services or anything. They keep the baby. Again, everyone, there's a baby in these intense car chases where they're going top speed and like, we're out of control. There's a baby, everybody. And there's a baby now in the police station. Yes, and they're both in the same cell because they need to be.
Yeah. And outside, approaching, we hear the jingle. And he starts taking out cops like Terminator. You called out Terminator earlier. I was thinking of the idea of I'll be back scene in Terminator where he comes in and he just wrecks the police station. Rumpelstiltskin is sort of one by one going to be taking out these cops. Yep. But it's all intercut with this woman who's a cop, a sheriff's deputy or something. She's sort of reminds me of like Phyllis on The Office, that kind of archetype. Yeah. And she's entertaining the child. So we get these big close-ups to her face while she's entertaining the child. And did you notice, after every sort of dispatch of an officer, we hard cut back to her big face in that screen. And I actually think it worked pretty well, especially guy goes out and there's a cop car out there with a police officer sitting in it, and he shakes him, and the police officer sort of slumps to the side to reveal Rumpelstiltskin smiling behind him. And then they hard cut to the woman's face going goo goo gaga. And that timing on that sequence, the editing, I actually liked. And I thought, that's a fun edit to keep cutting back to this woman as she's entertaining the baby.
Yeah, and I agree. It's a very Terminator. They probably borrowed a little bit from there. But for me, this scene, I thought, oh my gosh, can you imagine if this movie was like a serious, scary horror movie? How scary would it be if, and it's been done a bunch of times, but if there was the creature was killing off the cops one by one. But instead, you get the goo goo gaga ba ba, and then you've got him going, he gets shot by the cop, and then he goes, my turn, magic, and shoots him with a gun that's empty. I'm like,
yeah, and then also, because he has those powers, I guess.
Well, all of a sudden, Art, he's got the power to magically make another bullet.
Yes.
Okay.
And then stab somebody through with the American flag.
Backwards, mind you.
Backwards American
flag. The flag is coming out from the back of the guy through the front.
Yeah.
But the cop is pinned to the wall, and I thought, wow, Rumpelstiltskin really had to work hard to get this guy up there because the sharp end is sticking out this way, but he's in the wall. I'm like, well, good for you, Rumpel, man. You're an artist.
Well, and then there's this great shot where he kicks down a door and you just sort of see his silhouette in the door. He's that hunched silhouette, and the shadow is coming across the floor.
Yeah.
And that was one of the scenes that in the trailer, when you see it in the full widescreen, it's a great shot of
and you
him.
think, oh, this is a scary horror movie.
Yes.
But you're not scared of this guy now because it's
no.
So,
And
but it looked great. Looked great.
Yeah. He gets our baby and
takes the kid.
Yeah, but one of the police officers who's still alive gives them the key to the cell so they can get out.
And what do they do? They leave. They don't call anyone. They don't be like, oh my God, are you okay, sir? They practically walk over the guy they don't give a rat.
He's just helped him get out of the cell.
They don't even check to see if he's still alive. They take those keys and go.
Yeah.
Like, wow, she really cares about the baby.
And they go outside and there's a car with keys in it, which I was very surprised. I didn't understand at first. I said, what's going on here? And they start driving a car, and it is the car of Matilda, who owned the occult shop that we were in at the beginning.
Yeah. She just makes another appearance.
She makes another appearance. She pops up
from the back seat, I think, right?
From the back seat.
What?
But they need her now because she can maybe explain some things. Which, why didn't she explain this when the woman took the thing home in the beginning? I don't know.
Because she wanted that $25, Art, for the artifact.
But now we learn of another Rumpelstiltskin talent that he has. He can, like the witch in the Wizard of Oz with her crystal ball, he can suddenly conjure a little portal and see what's happening in the car. And he sees this Matilda telling them things. And he then proceeds, the best way I can say it is to Darth Vader force choke her from afar in the car. So she starts choking in the car, but it's really Rumpelstiltskin is choking her.
Yeah. And here was my thought on that. And I think I also read that maybe I didn't read that, but here's my thought on that. Is that he has the power to choke someone out from a distance, right? And he chooses to take out the exposition woman instead of killing the mom right then and there.
Mom and Max,
Done. He's done. They can smoke.
He could have killed all those police officers before he even walked in the police station.
But all of a sudden, he's got these powers like one of those superheroes that waits to the very end of the movie to use their amazing power.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he's like, I'll make a portal. I'll be able to kill you from a distance.
And now we know he has to go, I think, again, just exposition for this woman. Thank you, Cinema Sins, for ruining all my movies. He has to kill the baby or take the baby's soul in a graveyard.
Yes.
So he's going through a graveyard, which looked really cool with all of the.
It has to be a graveyard, but it also has to be in a mother's arms.
Oh, right. Yes. So he needs the mom. So that's why he doesn't take her out.
Well, no, he is using a corpse. He must have found I think what he did is found a tombstone that said loving mother or something. And so he has the skeleton
there. Yes.
Of the woman under he digs up a grave, has the skeleton holding the baby so that technically a mother is holding the baby.
Yep.
Because this is the point we learn in the movie. He doesn't have a soul. Rumpelstiltskin does not have a soul. The only way he can get a soul is from the soul of a baby.
Right.
That he's taken.
And the mother has to hold it.
And a mother has to be holding it.
But yet at the beginning of the movie, he was running away with the baby. There's no mom there.
Yeah. Because I think he has to do it in a cemetery. I think that's
okay.
true
So he was going to, all right. Okay.
Yeah. They're putting a lot into the end here.
Yeah.
But they're also introducing, we find out why the broom hurt Rumpelstiltskin as well, because the two characters, they figure out chaff is straw.
Yeah. Not hay, it's straw.
That's right.
Can you imagine though, Art, if at the beginning of the movie she only had a Swiffer? We would have never known.
He would have just he
would be like, that's a Swiffer.
So they gotta rally, and this is the easiest way to do this. They're going to take a payloader, a big tractor, that they used to dig, obviously, in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And put straw in the payloader's bucket.
Yep.
And light it on fire.
And chase down Yes.
This is the what I would have come up with.
I too. And what they did was they lit the straw first.
Yes.
Then they started going with this 20 miles an hour vehicle. And my first thought was, oh, that straw is going to be gone by the time they get there.
Right,
They
it'll be
should have bought
burned right
extra
up.
straw.
Right. But so he's running. He's I don't want to gloss over though. There were some kind of neat shots of the cemetery and him dancing, his little figure up on the hill in the cemetery, sort of dancing under his hump, silhouetted by the moonlight that I liked. I liked those shots. I thought they were good. And there was some good details in the cemetery. You probably realize, like, on some of the gates of the cemetery, there are faces that are kind of Rumpelstiltskin-ish on the gates.
A lot of production quality in this.
Yeah.
The cemetery was awesome. And not to gloss over also the fact that they chase him in the cemetery. I don't think this is before or after the payload or whatever it's called, but he has the ability also apparently to summon the dead, like to bring dead people out of the ground.
Yeah. When they start to come up, he just sort of they come up out of the ground. It's kind of a good effect, actually. They come up and they grab her on the leg, like these corpses are coming up and grabbing her and him as they're trying to get into the cemetery. There, he's using that, like he said, another power that he has, I guess.
Yeah, amazing. But this guy's pulling out. He's like, "Oh shoot, I forgot I had that power. Should have used that earlier." Whatever.
And so they're chasing him, and they do manage to scoop him up in the bucket of the tractor while it's on fire. Once again, I think that's there was an image. I think it's a stunt person.
It is
going into the bucket and
burning,
and catching on fire and burning.
The truck that's coming after him at 7 to 12 miles an hour. Yeah. Can't outrun that. Can't outrun it.
Right.
Especially the cemetery where you're going over, tombstones and things. Can't outrun it.
Yeah. And so we're not done though with the plan.
No.
That's not going to kill him.
Nope. What
they have to do is they have to crash into a power line transformer.
Yeah. In the cemetery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they crash into the power line transformer and we get these just don't age well. They're in a lot of movies from that era, Eric. The electric sort of computer generated electric spark blue stuff that sort of runs through everything. And it just doesn't age well.
Terminator.
And Terminator, it just
Empire, the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, those just don't seem to, unless they can, like George Lucas can years later kind of affect it a little bit.
Ooh,
but
maybe they'll do that with this movie. They'll reimagine the whole movie that would be awesome.
New special effects, adding things in the background.
Extra little scenes.
So he gets zapped and
it's a great effect. There's this explosion and stuff, and then again with the practical effects, he's burned up, still alive, and he crawls and splits in half.
Yes, that's from the original fairy tale. Because in the end of the original fairy tale, if you remember, she guesses his name, and he's so upset. What the fairy tale says is he stomps his foot incredibly hard. It goes through the floor. He grabs his other foot and he tears himself in half. That's what it says in the fairy tale story. Yeah, which is
again, everyone. This is a children's story, Brothers Grimm. It's a children's story, and again, I will point out we do have an infant unharmed through the entire film.
Yes.
In the arms of a corpse or something like that.
Yeah. I never, you're right. This is a good point, Eric. You've brought it up several times. I never throughout the movie actually felt like that child was in any danger. The movie didn't make us feel like, oh my God. Like I always felt like, okay, this kid, he's chill. He's on the set. He's nowhere near anything dangerous that's happening.
No, there's no cry. He doesn't
There's no,
cry.
it never, he's very well behaved.
There's no role like, almost catching the baby. The baby is like a prop. It's like they're carrying a basket of bread. Like, we got to get these groceries safe. And the tomatoes are still, I'm digressing there, but it just didn't seem like the baby wasn't really part of the peril of the movie.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to say his name like she already knows his name, which, as we said, the original, but this one is no, you have to say it 3 times.
Yes. And the combination of all these things that they're doing puts him back in the state that he was put in at the beginning of the movie. He shrinks down. He's now this jade object, like we saw him in the beginning of the movie. He's the egg again, and he ends up in the water again, too.
Yeah.
He ends up
at the water of the lake.
Of the lake.
I want to point out at the cemetery.
Yes.
Okay. And the commentary of this guy that I would choke the guy. I would have choked the guy first if I was Rumpelstiltskin, because his commentary, you laughed at some of them, but I wanted him to shut up because he's like, he's doing like this football thing. Hey, he comments on everything he says. Oh my gosh, look out, this thing's. So when he threw the egg prune Rumpelstiltskin into the lake or the pond, but not very far, if you ask me.
No, it isn't completely submerged, actually.
No. I'm like, that's how you're going to get rid of it? You're going to throw it at the ducks and hope the ducks, take it away?
And the way it landed, you could easily see somebody walking by and going, what is that in the thing? It wasn't. But then they cut to it under the water as if it sank,
super
like in a
deep.
deeper place.
Yeah,
right?
those cemetery ponds are like 30, 40 feet deep. Got to watch out. Yeah, and there's a little connection, like he's like, oh, I guess I'm not such an asshole. And she's like, yeah, maybe you're not. And then he goes back to work watching women take their clothes off. Is that?
Yes.
They fall in love? What?
Like I said, I don't think the movie was that interested in.
Okay. So epilogue.
Yeah, epilogue. A young girl, little girl finds the jade egg in the water.
Well, yeah, but apparently the water has recessed quite a bit because it's right there.
Yes, it's in the.
Yeah, it could have been.
But the girl finds it, brings it over, and
brings
her mom, and the mom has a new baby.
Yep, the woman turns around, it's a baby, right? Yeah, and they're at a picnic table. Art, I want to point out, they're at a picnic table at the old cemetery.
Yes,
right. Unless that. There's a huge pond, and on the other side of the cemetery is like a family park.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the mom, then you think, oh, he's back.
Mm-hmm. So here we are at the end, and they're clearly setting up, there might be another Rumpelstiltskin movie, which there was not. There was never another Rumpelstiltskin movie. No, because it really did not do well in theaters. Nobody wanted to see Rumpelstiltskin. People apparently would go back for Leprechaun movies, but they just weren't buying Rumpelstiltskin, Eric.
No.
Much to the chagrin of Mark Jones, as late as 2023, I think, he said he and Max Grodenchik and everybody are still up for making another Rumpelstiltskin, but
yeah, I think he said there was some trivia I read that 2000 or something. I don't know the date. I can make it up because you're not going to check. Nobody's going to check. He said he would pay for it, and they're like, "No,
yes,
no,
yeah." He told Paramount, or whoever owns the rights now, that he would pay for it with his own money.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Nah, we're good.
No, we're good. No, thanks.
We're good. No more Rumpelstiltskin movies." And so that was the end. That's the end. It's one and done for Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
He didn't do as well as his brother, the Leprechaun, who went on to do all those movies.
But what did you think? What do you think?
Okay.
What's the deal?
So I saw this twice. I had no idea what I was in for when I went in. So I had to do a lot of expectation adjustments because what I thought I was getting was more like a little horror story. I didn't expect much. I thought it would be a lot lower budget when I went into it. It has a great poster, like you said, that I remember seeing in the video stores. My experience watching this movie was I started to just have fun with it as it went on. I said, this is the only way. You got to get on this thing's wavelength and you just have fun with it. I will say it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's done in like 90 minutes. It's over, but it's hard to classify it as a so bad it's good, movie because I think they were trying to make a movie that like a legit movie here. They were also in on the joke. They wanted a little bit of humor in there, like Leprechaun. They wanted to add a little humor. The balance is way off. So I would not recommend this movie because I don't think most people are going to have a good time watching this movie. Unless if you like Leprechaun, say you're somebody that watches like the whole series of Leprechaun, you'll dig this. You probably have already seen this, actually, if you're one of those people. But if you're a horror movie fan, be prepared. There's very few scares in this movie. A matter of fact, probably the only jump scare is the ventriloquist dummy accidentally moving.
Yeah, they're like,
but
move. That's great. Oh, let's keep it.
But this is more of an artifact than a movie that you should watch unless you're maybe stoned. You might enjoy it a lot more.
I was just going to say, you might like this movie if you pop a couple of gummies, have some pizza and maybe a rum and Coke, and which sounds horrible combination. But yeah, watch this movie. But here's where I can understand how people would say, no, this is a great movie. Because the way that it's shot, the effects, the explosions, the character itself, the makeup on the character, and then all of the horror elements, with the stabbing and that kind of stuff, I can see how you could overlook the dumb, campy, ridiculous journey that they decide to go on. So for that, like I could watch it in clips just to see the parts I liked. But I think for me, this movie would have been awesome if they took it seriously and this was a terrifying, impish creature that was coming for the baby, and they could have confined it instead of making it a car chase. They could have holed up in that cabin, and every time, they're like stuffing it with straw, trying to get him out of there. I was rewriting the movie in my head because the physicalness of the character was a scary character, but it reminded me a little bit of what's that awful movie with it's a superhero that comes from hell. It's Spawn. That's it.
Spawn. Yes.
Yeah, there's the nerd in me. Spawn. And it was John Leguizamo playing this evil clown. And he was horrific looking, but you weren't afraid of him at all because he was just hamming it up. He's like, hey, how you doing? It was similar to Spawn. So I think this character lost its ability to scare you almost right from the beginning. And I wish that the movie was what the cover shows you, this creepy character looking through broken wood, like, ooh, Rumpelstiltskin's coming for you and your baby. But no, instead we get the Jerry Springer show and Mad Max, it just wasn't, I wanted to like it and I couldn't. And I felt like I was punishing you in a way for something that maybe you did because
don't feel that way because
I would like to.
I think I like it a little more than you do.
Yeah, because you watched it twice, Art.
I did, and this is going to sound bizarre. I enjoyed it a little more, the experience watching it the second time, because I think my expectations were not set wrong for it. I think I started to go, okay, this is what they're doing, and I'm enjoying it. Just watching him, the car chases, I was able to really hone in on the things you're mentioning here about the effects and the car chases, and those are all good, but we're here to have fun, but the fun isn't as fun as I would have liked. So all in all, I think Eric and I we don't have our rating system yet.
Oh, no, we do. Remember, we have a rating system.
What is it?
Well, for this movie, I'm giving it 4 clovers. No, I was thinking like a reference to Leprechaun, which doesn't work at all for this one. I'm going to give it 2.5 babies. Oh.
So how about straw brooms? Like we can do that for this one.
Oh, 3 out of 4 straws? No, it stunk.
Well, I guess we'll close there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll close there. Yeah.
So great.
Another bad habit. Would you have a bad habit?
We want to thank you again for listening to our rundown of Rumpelstiltskin. It's available on Amazon Prime right now, and also in a Blu-ray edition with the original aspect ratio if you're interested. But we want to thank you all for listening. Please remember to subscribe on your favorite podcast apps. Also, rate and review us. Leave a comment, and you can email us at midnightcinemapod@gmail.com if you have a question to ask or a correction you want to make on something that we said. Also, we're always looking for movie suggestions that we can fire up the projector for here in the Midnight Cinema and take a look at for you. So thanks for listening, everybody. Erik, it's been great, and we'll see you all next week.
Give me the goddamn baby.